Hello and welcome to my March plan with me. Hi, my name is Dana and I am very happy to have you here today. So before we get into March, we are just going to do a quick flip through of what we have for February so far. I'm recording this a little bit earlier than I usually do my setup, so we still have a bit of February to go. But for February, I am doing a cherry blossom theme and I have loved how that is turning out. I will link that setup if you guys are interested. But one of the things I did in this setup that I don't usually do is I did a different font style. So that was something I really wanted to bring into my March setup. So as you are starting to see right now, for March, I experimented with this kind of typewritery font, which I think came out so cool and it's a really big focus in this setup. So along with my typewritery aesthetic for this theme, I decided to go with a weather theme. I'm not really sure why. I guess March is kind of in like a lion, out like a lamb, very weathery month, I guess. I don't know. I just thought it would be a fun thing to do for this month, kind of switched up from my floral theme last month. But something I actually like about this theme, the way it came out, is it's a lot more minimal than my themes usually are. There are a lot of colors because as you can see, I did the whole rainbow, but as a whole, when you look at the theme, it ends up being very black and white, which is something I don't usually do, but I am really liking. So as you guys have been seeing for my cover page, I just started it off with March in the middle in that typewritery font and then a bunch of different kind of weather doodles. So I have a sun, like a partly cloudy, a thunderstorm, a rain, and a rainbow, and these are going to be used throughout the entire setup. And they're super easy doodles to draw, so I think anybody would be able to recreate this theme if they wanted to. So when I was setting up the cover page, I ended up drawing all the colors and then going through and outlining everything with my fine liner. And if you were wondering, for the whole setup, I'm using an 02 micron fine liner, but I ended up later on in the setup just outlining everything first and then coloring it in, and that ends up being so much easier. So what you see me doing here right now, I'm just taking a gray Crayola Super Tips and adding a little shadow to the clouds to make it more dimensional. So for my quote page, I decided to write "The storm will pass." One, because it's like a very weathery thing, obviously storms, weather, and also, I don't know about you guys, but I am not emotionally ready to go through a March again. I'm still trying to get over March of 2020, so I just wanted to remind myself, that this will pass, even though, it's been a year, it doesn't feel like it's going to pass, things are getting better, and it will pass. But for the actual page itself, I just wrote out the quote in, again, the same handwriting, and then underneath it, drew a little cloud with some raindrops coming down. And that is my first 2 pages finished. So next up, I have my calendar page, and I did a 7x7 dot monthly calendar starting the weeks on Mondays, which if you've watched any of my other setups, that is what I do literally every single month. And then on the side, I just drew in a little YouTube tracker. I decorated my calendar page pretty similarly to what I did for my cover page. I wrote out March again at the top in the same handwriting, and then all around the top and the bottom, because there's a lot of space at the bottom since the last week ends on Wednesday, I just drew in more of the same doodles around. I pretty much stuck to the same 5 different doodles, but if you guys wanted to recreate this theme, there's a lot more you can do with it. If you look up weather icon symbols or weather icons clip art, you can see tons. They have ones for tornadoes, snow, wind, so you could really play around with this theme if you wanted to. And if you guys do decide to recreate it, totally let me know. Tag me either in my personal Instagram or my art Instagram. They're both always linked in the description of all of my videos. Like I had mentioned earlier, this is a very black and white theme, especially compared to the ones I usually do. So when I went in to label my YouTube tracker and my calendar, I just went in with my fine liner and I didn't add in any extra colors. For the markers in my setup, I used a combination of Crayola Super Tips, Tombow Dual Brush Pens, and Zebra Mild Liners. And all of the specific products that I'm using, including my bullet journal with a coupon code to Archer and Olive. I don't think I've ever mentioned that in any of my bullet journal videos, that I do have a coupon code to Archer and Olive. I will actually put it on the screen right now, but all of that is always linked down in the description. And here is how the calendar spread looks, all colored in and finished. Next spread is my habit tracker and mood tracker spread. So this month for my habits, I'm tracking the same 3 habits I tracked last month: going to yoga, stretching, and doing art, whether that be drawing, painting, using my bullet journal, any of that. And I've been doing the same box individual monthly habit tracker for a year now. So if you guys have any suggestions of different type of habit trackers I should try and test out, let me know, because I am feeling like it is time to switch it up. So I'm super excited for my mood tracker this month, and though it took me a little while to draw everything out and will probably take me a little while every day to fill it in, I think it will definitely be worth it and look super cute in the end. So usually what I do with my mood tracker is I will just draw 31, 30, 28, depending on the month, things to fill in, but I thought it'd be really fun to incorporate the theme a little bit more this month. So what I ended up doing was I drew 31 different clouds, and then I made 5 different weather symbols for 5 different moods. So an amazing day is going to have a rainbow coming off of it, a good day is going to have a sun, an okay day is just going to be cloudy, a bad day is going to be raining, and a really bad day is going to be a thunderstorm. And I'm just so excited to see how this is going to look at the end of the month. So if you want to stay tuned to see that, you can look at my art Instagram, because I do post pictures of my bullet journal from time to time. And also, if you stay tuned for next month's April plan with me, I will show a flip through of March. So stay tuned for next month for that. So that is how my habit tracker and mood tracker spread came out. Moving on, we have my spending tracker, which again is the same as it is every month, but I did the top half where a section for cash and a section for card, where I'll write every time I spend money or get paid. And then the bottom half of the spread, I'm going to do a budget. I haven't made it yet because I like to wait until the end of the month, actually the last day of the month, to evaluate how my budget for the month before came out before I make my budget for the next month. And I'm still kind of working out my personal budgeting system. It's only something I started doing back in December, so I will probably make a video in a couple months telling you guys my recommendations and how the system is working for me. And to make it fit a little bit better with the theme and keep the spread looking cute, I drew a little partly cloudy symbol at the bottom next to the word budget. And that is those 2 spreads finished. These next 2 spreads for now are just the headers. The first one is my due date spread, so I'm going to go in after the end of February and write in all of my due dates for the month of March based on what I have for my syllabi for all of my classes. So I just wrote that in and then drew a little thunderstorm cloud right next to it. And the next page is my duty shifts page, which we are not scheduling duty until next week, but once we do that, I will fill in all of my duty shifts for March. And for this page, I drew in a little rain cloud. So pretty plain for now, but that is how those 2 header spreads came out. And for the last spread of this video, I have my first week of March. So for this one, I decided to go in with a horizontal spread, 2 pages, which is what I typically do, though this past month I did experiment with a vertical spread and I did not hate it, so you can expect to see some more of those from me in the future. But basically, I just went in and divided it up into 9 sections, 1 for the title, every day of the week, a to-do list, and next week. To keep it on theme, next to each header I drew a little cloud with a different weather symbol, and for my days of the week within the cloud I wrote what number that day was. And to finish the spread off, I just went through and added my little color accents on my different clouds. Alright, so now it is time for our final flip through, and I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love how this setup came out, so I'm hoping you do as well. I really liked the more black and white theme. I know for some people this might like not be minimal at all, but for me it seemed a lot more minimal, but I just love the doodles and the font and everything, so I want to experiment a lot more with different things like this in the future. So let me know in the comments what you want to see next. Subscribe if you are not already, like this video, and I will see you in the next one.